You keep waiting for somebody to see you, to notice you, to finally say, I'm proud of you. Stop. Stop waiting. Because while you're waiting, your life is passing you by. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to complete you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you become free. This is not a speech about giving up on people. This is a speech about giving up on the need for people. There's a difference. One makes you bitter, the other makes you unbreakable. So sit down, breathe, and listen, because what I'm about to tell you might change the rest of your life. The lie you were taught. Somewhere along the way, you were taught a lie. You were taught that you need somebody to validate your worth, a parent's approval, a partner's love, a friend's applause, a stranger's opinion. And so you built your entire identity on borrowed ground. You performed. You shrunk yourself to fit into rooms that were never meant to hold you. You apologized for your ambition. You silenced your dreams just to keep the peace. And still, it was never enough. Because approval from the outside can never fill a void on the inside. You can be surrounded by 100 people and still feel utterly alone. You can be in a relationship and still feel invisible. You can have thousands of followers and still cry yourself to sleep. Why? Because you were looking for wholeness in a place that was never designed to give it to you. People are not your source. People are not your foundation. People are seasons. They come, they go, they change. But you are supposed to be the constant. You are supposed to be the one thing in your life that never leaves. So today, we stop outsourcing our worth. Today, we come home to ourselves. The silence nobody wants. There's a kind of silence that terrifies people, not the silence of an empty room, but the silence of being alone with your own thoughts. That's why people fill their lives with noise, endless scrolling, endless small talk, endless distractions, because silence forces you to face the truth. And the truth is heavy. The truth is you have not been disciplined. The truth is you have been playing small. The truth is you have let other people's opinions steer your entire life. But here's what nobody tells you about silence. Silence is not your enemy. Silence is your training ground. Every warrior who ever became great spent time alone first. Every fighter who ever became a champion trained in empty gyms before the crowd ever showed up. Every leader who ever changed the world sat in solitude before they ever stood on a stage. You don't build strength in a crowd. You build strength in silence. You don't build discipline with applause. You build discipline when nobody is watching. So if you feel alone right now, good. That's not punishment. That's preparation. Stop performing for an audience that isn't coming. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you performing for? The people who doubted you? The people who left you? The people who never even noticed you were gone? Stop giving your energy to ghosts. Stop living for people who don't even think about you when they wake up in the morning. You are wasting your one life trying to prove something to people who were never paying attention. Wake up. The people you're trying to impress are not thinking about you. They're living their own lives, fighting their own battles, chasing their own dreams. So why are you frozen waiting for their applause? You don't need permission to become great. You don't need an audience to become powerful. You don't need a crowd to become unstoppable. Some of the strongest transformations in human history happened in complete isolation. Nobody was there to see the tears. Nobody was there to see the failures. Nobody was there to see the nights spent rebuilding from nothing. But when that person walked out, the whole world noticed. That's the power of building in silence. You don't announce the war, you announce the victory. Discipline is the new love language. Let's talk about discipline, not motivation. Motivation is a spark. It fades. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark is gone. Discipline is waking up, even when nobody claps for you. Discipline is showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline cares about your future. You want to change your life? Stop looking for inspiration. Start building discipline. Inspiration is a guest. It visits sometimes. Discipline is a resident. It stays. Every single person you admire, every person who seems unstoppable, they didn't get there by feeling motivated every day. They got there by doing the work on the days they didn't feel like it. That's the separation. That's the line between the ones who dream and the ones who become. So here's your new relationship, not with a person, but with discipline. Wake up early, even when it's cold outside. Train your body, even when it's sore. Read the book, even when the TV is calling your name. Say no to distraction, even when everyone else says yes. This is how kings are built, not in comfort, but in discipline. Turn your pain into power. Now let's talk about the pain, the betrayal, the rejection, the nights you cried in silence and nobody knew, the people who left when you needed them the most, the failures that made you question everything. I'm not going to tell you that pain doesn't matter. Pain does matter. Pain is real. But pain is also raw material. Some of the greatest things ever built were built from broken pieces. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. And you are being forged right now. This pain you're carrying, it's not there to break you. It's there to build you. Every rejection is redirection. Every no is preparing you for a bigger yes. Every person who left made room for who's coming. Every failure is a lesson wearing a disguise. So stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because pain without purpose is just suffering, but pain with purpose is transformation. You don't have to like the process, you just have to trust it. The version of you that's coming is going to look back at this pain and thank it, because this pain is the reason you're about to become unstoppable. Build yourself like nobody's watching. Here's the secret nobody tells you about greatness. It's built in private, behind closed doors, in empty rooms at 5 a.m. when the world is still asleep. Nobody sees the discipline. Nobody sees the sacrifice. Nobody sees the tears wiped away in silence before you walk back out into the world with a straight face. They only see the result. They only see the confidence. They only see the calm. And they call it luck. They call it talent. They have no idea about the war you fought when no one was looking. So, build in silence. Build without announcing every step. Build without needing validation for every move. Let your success be the announcement. Let your peace be the proof. Let your transformation speak when you no longer have to. Because the moment you stop needing people to complete you is the moment you start becoming complete on your own. Self-belief. When nobody believes in you. What happens when nobody believes in you? What happens when your own family doubts you? What happens when your friends laugh at your dreams? What happens when you're the only one in the room who believes it's possible? Then you become the proof. You don't need a room full of believers. You need one. Self-belief is not arrogance. Self-belief is armor. It's what keeps you standing when everyone else has sat down. It's what keeps you moving when everyone else has stopped. It's what keeps your fire burning when everyone else's has gone cold. You have to believe in yourself before the world ever gives you a reason to. That's the test. Anyone can believe in themselves after they've won. The real strength is believing in yourself before the win, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the doubt, in the middle of the silence. That's where real belief is built. Not in comfort, but in chaos. So if nobody believes in you right now, good. That means when you make it, nobody can say they made you. You made you. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe everybody an explanation. You don't owe everybody your story. You don't owe everybody access to your pain, your plans, or your progress. Some people don't deserve a seat in your life, and some people definitely don't deserve a window into your rebuild. Protect your process. Protect your peace. Protect your silence. Not everybody clapping for you now will still be clapping when you actually make it. Some people love you more when you're struggling than when you're winning because your struggle makes them comfortable. Your winning makes them ask questions about their own life, so don't expect the clap. Some people will only respect you once you don't need their respect anymore. Let them watch from a distance. Let them wonder how you did it. You don't owe them the blueprint. You just owe yourself the results. The turning point. There comes a day, and it will come, where you get tired. Not tired of life, but tired of waiting. Tired of shrinking. Tired of asking for permission to be great. Tired of begging people to stay who were already planning to leave. Tired of explaining your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. And on that day, something shifts. You stop begging. You stop chasing. You stop performing. You start building, quietly, relentlessly, without apology. That day is not a breakdown. That day is a breakthrough. That's the day the old version of you dies, and the real one begins to rise. Nobody claps on that day. Nobody even notices. But that is the most important day of your entire life, because that's the day you chose yourself. The rise from here. Everything changes. You start waking up with purpose instead of pressure. You start training your body like it's a temple, not a punishment. You start guarding your mind like it's a kingdom, not a battlefield for other people's opinions. You start speaking to yourself the way you always wished someone else would. You're capable. You're strong. You're not done. You stop waiting for Monday. You stop waiting for New Year's. You stop waiting for permission. You start now, right now, in this very moment. Because greatness doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Greatness creates the moment. You start showing up every single day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's when it counts the most. You start proving to yourself that you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become despite what happened to you. And slowly, piece by piece, you start to feel it. That fire, that hunger, that unstoppable, undeniable force rising from inside you. Nobody gave it to you. Nobody can take it from you. You built it in silence, in pain, in discipline, alone. Unstoppable. What unstoppable looks like. Unstoppable doesn't mean you never fall. Unstoppable means you never stay down. Unstoppable doesn't mean you never doubt. Unstoppable means you move forward anyway. Unstoppable doesn't mean you don't feel pain. Unstoppable means you turn that pain into fuel. You are not chasing perfection. You are chasing progress. 1% better today than you were yesterday. One more rep. One more page. One more early morning. One more no that becomes a yes later. One more version of you that refuses to quit. Do that enough days in a row, and one day you wake up and you don't even recognize yourself. Stronger, calmer, sharper, unshaken. Not because someone completed you, but because you completed yourself. The truth. You need to hear you were never missing a person. You were missing a purpose. You were never lacking love. You were lacking discipline. You were never lacking connection. You were lacking self-respect. The moment you fill those gaps yourself, you stop needing anyone to fill them for you. And here's the beautiful irony. The moment you stop needing people is the moment the right people finally start showing up. Because broken people attract broken people. But whole people attract whole people. You don't need somebody to complete you. You need to become so whole that whoever comes into your life adds to you instead of fixing you. That's the standard. Not fixing you, adding to you. And you'll never demand that standard until you become that standard for yourself first. The final charge. So here is your charge. Stop waiting for someone to see your worth. See it yourself. Stop waiting for someone to validate your dreams. Validate them yourself. Stop waiting for someone to hold your hand through the fire. Walk through it yourself. Because on the other side of that fire is a version of you that no longer flinches, no longer begs, no longer shrinks. A version of you that walks into every room complete, not because everyone loves you, not because everyone stayed, not because everyone believed, but because you showed up for yourself when nobody else did. That's the real victory. Not the applause, not the crowd, not the approval. The moment you can look in the mirror and say, I didn't need them. I built this. I am this. That's the moment you become unbreakable. Build in silence, rise in power. So if you're feeling lost right now, good. Lost people find new paths. If you're feeling tired right now, good. Tired people are closest to their breakthrough. If you're feeling broke right now, good. Broke is a season. Broken is a choice. Choose neither. Choose to rebuild. If you're feeling alone right now, good. That means there's finally room for you to meet yourself. Stop needing people to feel complete. Start building yourself in silence. Let them talk while you're quiet. Let them doubt while you're working. Let them leave while you're becoming. Because one day, not too far from now, they are going to look at you and they are not going to recognize you. And you're going to smile. Because you'll remember every night you sat alone and refused to quit. Every morning you got up when you didn't have to. Every tear you wiped away before anyone could see it. Every promise you kept to yourself when it would have been easier to break it. That's not luck. That's not talent. That's discipline. That's pain turned into power. That's a person who stopped waiting to be completed and decided to complete themselves. So stand up, wipe your face, square your shoulders, and walk forward, alone if you have to, silent if you must, but forward. Always forward. Because the world is not waiting for someone who needs to be saved. The world is waiting for someone who saved themselves. Be that person, starting now.